We have shown in our lives, we and our families don't have to belong to Qur'anic analytical programs. We don't have to. We have shown our society. And that's what we're teaching our children. And that's what they will become. Go through the Muslim universities. Go through the Muslim colleges. Go to the masjids. What do you see? You see exactly what we do. We have not shown them that this great messenger brought a message. And unless we attach ourselves with all our energies to this message, we will be ummiyun like his community. So ummi is not illiterate. It is somebody, in spite of having all the ability to learn divine guidance, to choose divine ways, to establish divine values, choose to be literate and illiterate and backward, because he doesn't have time, or she doesn't have time. Because guesswork is very plentiful. It's easy to get a lot of guessworks. So the Qur'an told the Prophet in 62:2, وَالَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا مِنْهُمْ. He himself did not know divine guidance. He wasn't born with it. Somebody told me, you know what? There was a saint, Abdul Qadir Jilani, when he was in his mother's belly, he knew 15 parts of the Qur'an. I said, beautiful, isn't this nice? He knew 15 juz of the Qur'an in the stomach of his mother, and the messenger of Allah, too bad for him, he was born and he knew nothing. This is the kind of mentality we ship all over the place. The Qur'an, هُوَ الَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا. The Prophet was someone from his society. He had no guidance about the values. There was no connection with divine revelation. That's why the Qur'an teaches us, وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. What do Muslims know about akhirah? Only when you're dead. But the Qur'an is telling the Prophet, your latter part of your life will be far better than the earlier part. Because the earlier part you were not with any guidance. أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى. And you know yatiman means orphan. But I also know yatiman in the Arabic language mean one who's exposed, one who's vulnerable. That's the meaning of yatim. أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. Dalan certainly doesn't mean guidance. Dalan certainly means you're off on a tangent. فَهَدَى. وَوَجَدَكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى. And we found you in need, and we enrich you. So this beloved Prophet was a man of actions. So the Qur'an says in conclusion, هُوَ الَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ. Why did he come? يَتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ. To make known to them, what is the revelation. يَتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِ. To let them become familiar with divine verses. وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. Zakka comes from the verb zakah. But zakka means to help them that they can purge themselves of the pollutions in their lives, and so that they can grow. Nobody can grow unless they can clean the dirt from themselves. وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابِ. And that he would teach them the book. He doesn't need any translation outside the Qur'an to teach the Qur'an. The Prophet didn't need any tafsir outside the Qur'an to teach the Qur'an. In chapter 25, verse 33, Allah told the Prophet, because it is human nature to always fight divine guidance. In my dialogue with Muslims all over the world, they don't know A to Z of the Qur'an, but when they come to speak to you, they always bring their cultural baggages. And in the Prophet's time was no exception. So here's what the Qur'an told him. وَلَا يَأْتُونَكَ بِمَثَلٍ إِلَّا جِئْنَاكَ بِالْحَقِّ. O Prophet, your community could never confront you with anything except that we will respond with the truth. وَأَحْسَنَ تَفْسِيرًا. And the best tafsir. What do you think was the best tafsir? Some kind of book that was written 250 years after? The best tafsir was that glorious revelation that Allah gave him, which Muslims have abandoned, which the average Muslim don't have time for on a daily basis, which the average mother and father don't have time to go and learn, so the average child don't have time to grow it. We want our children to be doctors and engineers and lawyers and scientists and botanists and all the ologists. We really don't want our children to know the language of the Qur'an. We really don't want our children to know the message of the Prophet. Does that still show that we love him? I leave this with myself and you. He was a messenger. And what was his message? His word for us to discover. Astaghfirullah li wa lakum wa lil mu'minina wal mu'minat fastaghfiruhu innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. In conclusion, because of time, the Qur'an told us about the beloved Prophet. Today when you read the books written by Muslims, whether it's in Arabic, whether it's in Urdu, whether it's in English, and I'm sure in other languages, because everybody is monkey right, monkey do. When you read the books written by the Muslims, you are astonished to know, could the Prophet say this? The Prophet was an excellent human being, par excellence, above the prejudice of his society, above the corruptions of his times and of our times. The Qur'an told him, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Your character is indeed fantastic. A man's character that is so fantastic could not be the reason for all the blemishes and the oppressions and the injustices and the darkness in Muslim society. Just take one before we leave today. All the Muslims will tell you, it's popular knowledge to them, that the first imperative command that came from God to the Prophet, in Arabic they know it very well, Iqra. And Iqra means to study, Iqra means to read, Iqra means to analyze, Iqra means to investigate, Iqra means to do all of these educational things to arrive at valid conclusions. Now, if they claim that the Prophet said that, and that was his first revelation, and we have no doubt about that, that's in the Qur'an, then what kind of man he became after that? We know he was not known in history to be somebody who was known for writing or reading, right? But that was before the Qur'an. Do you really believe that even though this message came to him to read and to study and to ponder and to reflect, and he told the world, go and read, go and study, go and educate yourself, analyze what you're saying, yet he refused to follow it? Are we telling the world that?